So, we have further information regarding the Ashley, Jeanette, and Joe McCann cases from the Director of Criminal Investigations and people in Zanzibar. Now, you should be aware that much of what is reported is in Swahili, as it is information provided by locals. But you're in luck because your girl knows the language, so I can tell you that nothing will be lost during translation. There are details on how Ashley and Joe had multiple furious disagreements from the moment they arrived in Zanzibar, how Joe was a frequent tourist to Zanzibar but not a visitor to the resort, and how they argued because he would leave Ashley in the villa to hook up with the local women. Yikes, cheating with the locals. Apparently, Joe had a friend in Zanzibar who was hauled in for interrogation, and I've seen rumors that Ashley's engagement ring was discovered with bloodstains. It's a mess, baby, and the information is pouring in. Okay, first of all, I'm not sure why this report isn't available online, but I was able to find it on one of Zanzibar's news websites, and the Director of Criminal Investigations has provided a detailed timeline stating that Joe and Ashley checked into Zuri Hotel Villa, number 25, with a planned departure date of April 10th, 26. He confirmed that, as the streets reported, there was a disagreement between the two of them, which was so serious that the person in villa number 24 called the hotel service, and they were split into different rooms. He stated that the staff decided to shift Joe to villa number 65, which is about 8 to 10 minutes away from Ashley's room. Now, at 7:30 p.m. on the day Ashley was discovered, one of the attendants was doing his nightly rounds when he stopped by villa number 25, where Ashley was residing, and she told him she needed a phone charger. The attendant gave Ashley his phone charger and then went to villas 24 and 26, although Ashley had told him to return in approximately 10 minutes. According to the Director of Criminal Investigation, the attendant returned after about 20 minutes. He knocked on the door. There was no answer, and all of the lights were turned off. Maybe he sensed something was wrong since they had agreed with Ashley that he should return for his phone charger in a few minutes. And when he couldn't reach her, he used his emergency key to enter the door. That's when he noticed Ashley, dangling from the internal wardrobe, hanging rawed by a gray bathrobe belt. According to the account at the time, she was still alive but struggling, so he sounded the alarm and transported Ashley to the nearest hospital. After early treatment, Ashley was transported to another hospital for specialized care, but she died the next day about 3 p.m. Now, I've seen how this part about the attendant has caused confusion online, but what you need to understand is that this attendant gave Ashley his phone charger, and I'm assuming he told her that his shift was about to end and he needed his phone charger back, which is why Ashley probably told him to return in a few minutes. To be honest, I thought this made sense at first, until I discovered that Joe wasn't exactly a stranger in Zanzibar, according to residents. He understood the lay of the land, and the resort staff knew him well. And now, many people are asking if they were covering for Joe. Think about it. The crew claims they transferred Joe to an entirely other villa that was 10 minutes away. Then, they believe Ashley instructed the attendant to return for his charger in a similarly short period of time. Isn't it a little too convenient? By placing Joe 10 minutes away and having a staff member uncover the scene shortly after, they create a timeline in which Joe could not have been in the room. To some, given that these are people he appears to have known previously, it feels less like a meticulously contrived alibi to establish he could not have committed a crime. And the locals claim that because of his acquaintance, Joe was well aware of how things operated behind the scenes, particularly the knowledge that the local police and workers could be bought. It surely gives a new dimension to the plot. When you realize he chose a location where he knew he could easily buy his way out of trouble if things went wrong. Apparently, What the police are not stating is that they questioned roughly 10 others, including hotel workers and Joe's white friend who was in Zanzibar at that time. This man was so at ease in Zanzibar that he even had international acquaintances there. Furthermore, it does not make reasonable that Ashley's family is still kept in the dark about the autopsy results. Despite the fact that it had been completed, her father had to fly to Washington, D.C. just to get U.S. officials to help speak with Tanzanian authorities, but they have yet to release her remains or the findings. So, what exactly are they hiding or covering up? But that is not all. Guys, I know many of you have been wondering what the disputes were about. According to a source in Zanzibar, Joe and Ashley were battling because he was cheating on her and would leave the villa to spend time with other local women in Zanzibar. Apparently, there was another disagreement at the reception because someone flirted with Ashley, which irritated him, and Ashley began shouting about him cheating on her. This was the problem, and I'm not sure how it developed to the point where she died, but believe me, we'll find out soon. And what about these issues? Ashley's buddy now claims that Ashley told her she was terrified and wanted to terminate things since she had repeatedly argued with Joe and had significant disagreements even before going on the trip. According to the buddy, Ashley wanted to leave, but she was terrified since this man is highly aggressive. And after some research, I discovered more incidences from Joe's past that raised serious concerns about his behavior. For example, there is an article from when Joe married his first wife in 2018, and the piece begins with her saying that this was the most difficult decision she had ever made. Can you conceive that your wedding to the man you claim to love will be the most difficult decision of your life? So here's what occurred. The ex-wife, whom I will not name, had a father, but she was forced to walk down the aisle alone after the father declined to accompany her. Ask yourself this: why would a father refuse to escort his daughter down the aisle on her most special day? It's evident that he had an issue with Joe Wright. And it's also likely that he saw the indications. Now, I'm assuming that's due to Joe's influence. He persuaded the bride to down the aisle alone. And as she walked down the aisle at that point, she remarked, "He promised me you'd never have to walk alone in life again." The unfortunate part is that Joe made this promise to her only to abandon her in 2021, while she was pregnant with their second child. Allegedly, there was a lot of hostile conduct in this marriage as well, which is why some assume Joe was the aggressor when it came to Ashley. I've also heard from reporters that there was no forcible entrance into Ashley's room. They did, however, uncover Ashley's engagement ring in a rental car near the hotel's exit. Apparently, the ring concerned them since it had bloodstains on it. So they took it in for forensics to determine whether the blood belonged to Ashley, Joe, or someone else. I can't verify this portion, so I won't go into detail. But as soon as I have additional information, I will surely break it down. By the way, let me clear something up, because many people have been tagging the incorrect resort on social media. Ashley did not die in the hotel with the lion, which has been appearing on our timelines since the story broke. This resort is located in another location in Tanzania, not Zanzibar, where she died. In reality, the team at Serval stated that Ashley was pleased when she was at their resort, and they commented to one of the posts by writing, "We truly understand your concern and are deeply saddened to see this happen. During her time with us, she was quite happy, as seen by her experience and her most recent social media posts. She departed our premises in good condition and a pleasant attitude. The incident did not occur on our premises, and we have no additional information about the circumstance or the individual she was with. We recommend that you follow official updates from the relevant authorities for accurate information." See, Joe and Ashley's difficulties intensified in Zanzibar, where Joe was familiar with the resort and the personnel, knew he could pay his way out, and would leave Ashley in the villa to reportedly meet up with local women. And to think that this occurred right after the engagement. Of course, she passed out. We're still trying to figure out whether he was the one who killed her. And we won't know if there was foul play until Tanzanian officials disclose the real autopsy, which is taking too long. Meanwhile, please let me know your thoughts on how this case is progressing in the comments area below.